Alrighty, it seems as though the cat's out of the bag anyway. I sort of knew a few days in advance about all this, and I was cleaning up any possible issues I might have had before opening my mouth. Some of you may notice there are a number of videos on a certain person on my main channel that have magically disappeared, and the handful that are left are set as private and may disappear as well. So all you little lost-minded entities who don't like certain things being said, yes, a lot of videos on a certain person are probably already gone or are in the process of going. And that's just me covering my own arse. You know, I don't see a point of, you know, there's enough people fighting against this person. I don't really think there's a point in me leaving any of these old videos up. I seem to notice that a lot of these people that are weak in the mind never look at publish dates. And you can make something frickin' 9 months ago and they'll start spitting shit like you only put it up yesterday, and it's like, are you that frickin' dumb? You don't look at the publish date. But then there's another side of the coin to all this. They may be watching the video from another site like Facebook where it's been embedded. And that brings me to the subject. A lot of you guys already know there's a Facebook page dedicated to bringing down Doc, and now apparently there's one dedicated to bringing down Tony Mullins and Doc. And, well, there was a video of mine that was either uploaded, like downloaded and re-uploaded and then put onto Facebook, uploaded to Facebook, or it was simply an embedded link directly from my own channel. It's where they use basically, those of you who know HTML coding, it's an ahref bang, and they embed your YouTube video in their Facebook page. And if that's what they're doing, well, they'll be fucked up now, because I wiped it. And it's funny, you sort of get subjects, videos on a certain subject, and you know what subject I'm talking about without actually saying it. And some of these videos will get, you know, 300-400 views, and then others strangely get fucking thousands. And they're probably the ones that have been embedded. And I couldn't really work out why one. And I just thought, oh well, one's just, you know, ends up in the recommended views in the thumbnails more often than not. And some of them, no, I think it's because they've been embedded into Facebook pages. And yes, it was rather interesting that only about 2 days ago, this Facebook page dedicated to bringing down Doc, which I have not looked at, I'll admit, but subscribers of mine have, there were many mentions of TR and many videos of TR on that same Facebook page, and 2 days ago they deleted every single comment with that name and every single video that had any mention of it to try and disassociate themselves. They knew that the cat was out of the bag. They knew that I knew about the page, so they were trying to clean it up before they could be accused of the plot to bring down Doc being associated with that other person. So, yeah, sort of. But then again, if you had at least 3 brain cells firing, you'd obviously know who would be behind that sort of a, you know, that sort of a attempt. Who else would it be? Who would be interested in his downfall? I would like to, you know, people have also mentioned, why would anybody support Doc? Blah, blah, blah. He's crazy, this, that, the other. Well, I will admit he is a strong-headed guy. But in the process, isn't everybody entitled to their opinion? If you're in the States, you can look at the First Amendment to the Constitution. and that will pretty much sum that one up. But, you know, YouTube tends to think these days, more recently, that you're entitled to your own opinion. But I still believe you are, and obviously so does Facebook, at least for the most part. Anyways, I'll probably whack the link in the description below, but I expect it to be a whole heap of, horse shit, but I'll just put the link below for those of you who want to have a look at it and maybe leave your own comments on said Facebook page if you feel like doing as such. But, you know, here it is. To me, the very fact they deleted all these comments and mentions and videos of the other person who is probably the main contender behind the plot, that just sort of almost confirms that they were behind the plot, doesn't it? Because if they weren't behind the plot, why did you remove all the comments and videos of that person who was allegedly and most likely behind the plot? And let's face it, if you don't know who's behind this plot, you probably have lost the plot. Yeah. Sort of always surprises me how said person can stand there and talk about fucking contradiction. I'm over it, I don't want anything to do with it, da-da-da-da-da, it doesn't matter, I don't want to know, I don't care, I don't want to think about it. But, if you look at this web page, they're plotting against me. If you look at this Facebook page, they're plotting against me. I'm over it, I don't want anything to do with it, but have a look at this website, have a look at this Facebook page, have a look at some... No, dude, if you're busy showing something or other .sucks website and this Facebook page and that Facebook page, it's not that you're over it, because why the bloody hell are you still showing all this stuff? I have been asked a question more recently, and this is sort of an eternal question that I keep getting asked. Do you think the guy is faking this, or does he believe his own bullshit? I am nearly certain now that he believes his own bullshit, because I couldn't believe you'd be that indignant in defending yourself if you're only faking it. You must believe your own bullshit if you're this indignant, you know. And from my perspective, you know, it's exaggerations are lies. If you exaggerate hard enough, as said person does, an exaggeration is essentially lying. Let's face it. At least that's my opinion. You may have a different one. But, you know, there's minor exaggerations, and then there's exaggerations that border on fantasy and just pure delusions of grandeur and such things, you know. And many e-beggars, a hell of a lot of them, suffer from delusions of grandeur to varying degrees. You know, we all know somebody who always likes to say, I'm a famous YouTube celebrity. That's funny. That guy's no longer on YouTube, but he was a famous YouTube celebrity. He never managed to crack the same amount of subscribers I have, but he had delusions of grandeur. With him, I think he would have been actually properly certifiable, and I can almost guess as to what disorder it was. But that particular guy, at least he was honest in many other aspects of his life. He would never hide his donations. He would never have fake breakdowns that he couldn't show, and yeah, he's no longer on YouTube, and he's got a few pretty big family issues that he's got to deal with. Poor bastard, I almost feel sorry for him. But anyway, just thought I'd give you guys the link to the plot against Doc, and apparently there's another one called Operation Japanese Beetle. That's one that's plot against Tony and Doc combined. And, you know, to be quite honest, I'm over it. You know, I said that, I actually found the video where I said that on my main channel. In October last year, I have said that, you know, I sort of don't bother, I couldn't be stuffed arguing the toss about it. I mean, I honestly think there's some, I'll give you an example. There was a time where I saw a stage magician, illusionist rather, in a supermarket mall, and he made a table lift up, and it's still hard to understand how he done it, because I can't see how he could have used only 3 fingers to lift a table so high in the frickin' air. I really can't. But as much as it looked like the blasted thing was really floating and he only had 3 fingers on the bloody tablecloth, I knew it wasn't floating. In fact, if you're over the age of 7 years old, you would have known it was an illusion, because there's no way that it couldn't have been anything else. But the funny thing is, some weak-minded people are so weak-minded that they could probably see something like that and actually believe it's true. There's some things that are so easily busted open by a search in Google Maps satellite view. So many things that are easy to find. Many of these e-beggars have 2 names. Quite a few of them are living under 2 names, or have lived under one name and are living under another name now. And one of them, I believe, even lives under 2 names concurrently at the same time. And this shit is pretty easily uncovered. And if you can believe a stage illusionist / magician, whatever you want to call them, then you can believe these e-beggars and take all their word for it. But most of us don't believe stage magicians. They know it's an illusion when they see it, and we don't believe it. And some things we won't believe after we check into them. But there's other people who don't want to know how the stage magician pulled off the trick, and they don't want to believe the truth. They don't want to see reality. They want to believe in the magic, so they continue to do so. And, you know, that is living in a fantasy world. And whether somebody believes their own fantasies and tries and shows these fantasies to be true, I'm not going to necessarily believe them myself. And I think you're kidding yourself if you do, and I think you're a fucking weak-minded idiot if you believe bullshit on face value that is quite likely to be crap, especially when other people are tugging at your flaming wrist saying, hey, this is bullshit and I can show you. Just have a look here. And no, they don't want to know it. But anyway, you know, if those people are going to be like that, I think there's only a certain amount of time that you can try and convince people, and if they're not convinced, then they're just fucking stupid. And so then you just give up trying to convince them, and other people can continue a fight. But, you know, as I said in October, I'm through fighting with all this bullshit. And for those of you guys who don't know, I have a channel on Vimeo. Damn e-beggar on Vimeo. And whatever YouTube might not tolerate, Vimeo does, and there's so much shit there that I recommend you have a look. And I've actually put up another video on some of these crazy dating site profiles that are just crazy. And there will be a multitude of other videos going up today. So if you watch this in a day's time, or you look at my Damn e-beggar Vimeo channel in a day's time, then you will see all of those videos as well, many of which are re-uploaded There's a lot of parody stuff on there which was only ever shown by Tony. And if you frickin' weak-minded dipshits think you're going to take out that as well, don't worry, because I've got a giant cloud drive. I've actually got 2 cloud drives, but I'm only using one, and the whole lot's saved there, and all I got to do is just reshare it to Vimeo or re-download it from the cloud and re-upload it. Those of you who may be interested in hosting some of those same videos, you can send me an email or send me a PM on my main channel, and I will give you the links to download it from my cloud and re-upload it yourself if you feel that way. So yeah, there you go. Regardless, it's all in the cloud, and no matter what happens, I'll just download the whole lot from my cloud and go up there again. And I've actually got a whole stack of stuff which is also on the tablet, so even if the cloud was somehow to fail, it's on the tablet anyway. So yeah.